Okay. Tokyo Ghoul. Because a lot's happened in this episode too. Holy cow.
Yep.
Wow.
Hey guys, and welcome to our review of Tokyo Ghoul episode 10 review. I'm your host Cinder Blaze, and today we have...
Makotoa.
Alright, let's just jump into this episode, and man, we were complaining about this series for so long, and it's finally picking up because we get to see more tidbits of Kaneki's past, actually attempt to reconcile with him and try to get him back into the mix. And Heisei is also questioning that too. By the end of the episode, he's just snaps, just why won't you tell me about this dude? It's because I killed Amon.
I'm so happy that he finally freaking stopped with this facade of him everything being okay. Yeah. I am so glad because it needed to happen, and that was one of the shining moments of this episode for me. That moment right there, because that felt like we're going places now. We're finally making waves.
Yeah, we also got to see a little bit more of shoot, I try to remember his name.
Sure.
The dude with the sharp teeth.
Oh, him?
At the very beginning.
Oh, right. He was here. He happened for a little bit. That's right. He even talked to some other nameless character we were just introduced to. Here comes another one every episode, man.
I feel like we've been introduced to that character before because I think he was part of that one group. Part of the Rose extermination group, whereas Heisei's team and some other team, and he was part of that as well.
Oh, well, whoops, my bad. I forgot about the generic character.
Yeah, he looks very generic, so it's really hard to kind of keep consistent. Maybe he's not part of that team, but I feel like he's definitely been part, or he's been shown before. So, what was it? We saw his sister at a young age kind of grow this little mole, and that just grew into this giant Quinque-esque looking thing.
You think some random jerk or Ghoul just threw a piece of its Quinque on her face and then
Yeah, but that's the thing. I don't think we've given any, or I can't think of any clues that would kind of lead to that. Maybe it's some consequence of the genetic mutations, but I feel like both of them were too young for that to be the case, because Kaneki's more he's not the first person, honestly, because we have I feel like we have the higher up ghouls maybe have done some experimentation, but he's definitely one of the earlier examples of the half ghoul, so I don't think that she is part of that experimentation group. So there might be something that ghouls might be able to do, as you said, maybe their Kagune, or that's not Quinque, maybe their Kagune kind of got
because we're
not
aware now
stuck
that
in her face, but
they can detach them. That's something we know about now.
Oh yeah, and they still technically feed on human flesh, so maybe it's kind of growing off of her.
Yeah,
in that way.
Sort of like the armor that those big buff dudes had in season 2 and 1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's weird, but I don't know why they wouldn't be able to remove it. So maybe there's some other stuff kind of going on. Maybe it kind of binds with her flesh, or if you take it off, it's just gonna regenerate again.
Yeah, gosh.
So,
yeah, I need money so that I need to kill more ghouls so I can get money. It feels like just the most generic, freaking protagonist motivation, but instead of I need to kill things for revenge or for this cause to save my friends, it's I need it for money.
I don't know. I feel like that exact thing has happened in it's happened in a very famous anime, also known as Yu-Gi-Oh!, when Joey's I need to get that money from my sister, and it's kind of looks like him too. But after that whole discussion about feeling guilty over the Quinque that you're using from a ghoul that you've killed yourself, I understand, and when he kind of apologizes for all this stuff, he still feels bad, and he kind of accepts it's going to take a while for him to actually use the nutcrackers.
Oh my gosh, that dude that shows up, he's like, hey, I heard you've been having a hard time using your nut. Why don't you did you read that like line? Was
No,
it the same one?
I don't think I was
Because
paying attention.
Crunchyroll, like the dude, that's what he nicknamed. Apparently, he just named it that or something. So it's like, yeah, I heard you were having a hard time using your nut. Can I have it? Great,
Yeah,
great,
like
great.
that
Oh my
was
god,
slightly awkward. But
no,
moving on from that, I
we
don't think
can't move
we.
on from that. He got a haircut.
Oh, yeah. He looks. I think he looks a little bit better that way. But
And then he's like, this sudden motivation is all thanks to you, pessimistic dude. And pessimistic dude's like, the heck? How did that actually? How did you manage to like take my pessimistic like freaking jabs at you and turn it into this? I love that. Oh, I
it's
love
like,
that. Oh,
man, it's
good.
like, suit yourself. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah,
And like for real though,
you
that's
cretin. That's what he. Oh,
yeah,
I love that guy.
yeah. I
He
feel
was
like
he was complaining later in the episode too because he's like, "What? It can't be over yet. Come on, Rose guys, do something so I can get more kills."
yeah. I wish I was
Oh,
paying a bit more attention to that. I feel like they have built that up, but I didn't realize they were actually going after the Sukiyama family until like the dude kind of like walks up and is like, "We're gonna be going after your family, and
yeah,
you're just gonna
yeah,
take it." And he's like, "Yes, here's the house. Go."
yeah, yeah. What else should we talk about? The servant dude, Shu's servant, got ambushed by the
I think
owl no, 2.0 chick
I think that's
with
like the owl's daughter, maybe.
Owl's daughter with the bandages and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, she showed up and started like messing with his mind, and oh, you don't really care about finding this dude. You want to kill him because he's the thing that Shu loves, and it's not you. And you got all this undying loyalty for Shu. Well, he doesn't love you because he loves this dude, so maybe you should kill him. And that's what you really want to do. No, 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 no. It's not true.
yeah. Like that dude is already mentally messed up. That like I
Yeah,
feel like he was an easy prey for her. So
he
it's kind of
is.
funny to
Oh,
see.
he is. Oh, he is. And that's even like the teaser scene for the very end of the episode, which I mean, that's not as significant to me as some of the other parts, so I don't mind us talking about it now.
Yeah,
Where like she apparently, he's on board with her and she's like, "I'll give you one of my bones. Oh yes, one of my bones so that you can be stronger and you can get what you want." What is going on? What? You can just share your bones now? Is that how ghouls work? Does it give them a power up or something? Okay,
pretty sure
sure.
that she's probably like half ghoul. So like them kind of having the human DNA like augments the ghouls in a certain way as well.
Right. And he had like this massive like thing with a mouth coming out of his back, so I'm sure it's already working.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Bleach, where like the first kind of example we see is like the or not. I'm not sure which actually comes first. We have like their wrong cars, which are like the hollows with Shinigami powers, and then kind of have like these ghouls with human powers, or maybe like a constant source of like human DNA or flesh because like they kind of regenerated or I don't know
Is this a
something.
filler arc? Because I don't remember what you're talking about unless you're explaining it weird.
Oh no, I just was talking about Bleach and then I just started talking about Tokyo Ghoul with the human.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Oh,
I
okay. So I think I would see what you mean. You're wrong. Okay.
I don't know. I just feel like having human and ghoul DNA just kind
Yeah.
of just makes
It's
you better. You know?
yeah, when you get the best of both worlds, or in freaking what's his name from Bleach? He had like the best of how many worlds? And never mind.
Ichigo, I just like
Never mind.
blood from every. Okay, let's go back to Tokyo Ghoul.
Yeah.
Shoot.
My favorite part. Well, actually, let me do my second favorite part. Shu surprised me this episode when Kaneki, well, not Kaneki, I guess it's
I
Heisei.
say.
Heisei. Not for long, buddy. Not much longer, finally. Anyways, he asks Shu if he's a ghoul, and he's like, "Oh, maybe I should restate this. Do you know Kaneki?" It's like, And then he just goes on about how he doesn't know anything about himself and how he really wants to because, he can't live his life without knowing this part of him and cred. And then Shu, like, having this internal, like, struggle because now, which I was surprised, he turns around and he's like, I don't think I can tell you anything about Kaneki anymore. And he leaves. And that's so surprising to me because he was just so obsessed that he was on the brink of death because he just wanted Kaneki. And it was just this kind of very selfish motivation. But then, when he woke up from his coma and he saw all of his servants sacrificing themselves for him, and he had to, like, I'm so sorry that, you did this for my sake. And then, just all of that, it makes sense. And I feel bad for underestimating him, I should say, I guess, that he changed his mind and was like, you know what, I have to focus on the people in my life and not just get this one-track mind with Kaneki and just go after what I want, right?
Yeah.
I think that's what his motivation sort of ended up being. Although I don't understand why him not telling Kaneki all that was something that would it keep him from being loyal to his family or taking care of his family?
I felt like a lot of it had to do with like it just being, it was like really painful for for Shu to say that in the first place.
Yeah.
Like saying all this stuff about Kaneki, who doesn't exist, to Kaneki, or to Heisei, who's still technically like Kaneki in some way. And just, I feel like he felt like saying that wouldn't have changed anything or wouldn't have been the most optimal thing to do. So it's just like, you know what, I can't say it right now. Like,
and then he's walking away and he has those flashbacks of when he was like hanging out with Kaneki and stuff, and he's like, I really enjoyed those times. I really did. Oh.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, and like it kind of like he puts some more focus back onto his family, and that was actually the second part of this episode, which I felt like was really like nice, like the way they transitioned it from like Heisei's issue to Shu's issue. And I liked how it like just affirmed his kind of identity in this world. Like this is like one of the first times where I actually understand like the significance of like what of his like family and like kind of his upbringing, like what his stature is in the Ghoul world. And I was like, oh, and like I understand like why like everyone kind of like garners like this respect for him, and kind of like why it's so like important to the ghouls themselves that like they're all part of like this closely knit community. It's kind of like I forgot what the cafe was called. It's kind of like in season 1 where they had their own kind of like family and they're just super close because they relied on each other so much. Yeah. So, sadly enough, his father had to like slip the sleeping pills or whatever into his coffee.
Oh yeah. Down for the count, and then that's when the attack on the Tsukiyami family, the clan, and I mean they already imply the Tsukiyami clan is finished. That's what the driver lady says. You are the only one left, the heir to the family. I don't know, but it was, and then he's like, turn back, I need to save my father, and he's like, no, you have to uphold the clan and live on, and he accepts that. He does, and it's showing more character development than I ever expected this guy to get. I'm not gonna lie. Like when we first see him in freaking season 1, he's just this madman who is obsessed with like committing the ultimate sin and consuming his own species, apparently, and then just having these. It's just a big kink to him, and I thought that was all there was.
Yeah, like he was a very killable character in the first season, and I was kind of surprised that he survived for so long. And
he has developed into like more than just that, and it's really surprising, and it's a pleasant surprise. It really is.
Yeah,
because he has been one of the few things in this show so far, for me at least, that I was like really looking forward to seeing more of. You know?
I feel like he's been like the tether from season 1, like his character is still like relatively the same. He just kind of like added some more stuff for it to fit more along the terms of this series.
Yeah.
And he still kind of like acts like the crazy psychopathic self that he was in season 1. A lot of the other characters from season 1 haven't been acting the same way, either because they grew up.
Yeah, they've all mellowed out.
The mask dude is relatively the same, but he was always somewhat of like a side character, and I feel like the moments we did get with him were fun. Like last episode, we also see like what was it? Heisei Squad's masks and stuff like that. And
That
when he
was
goes,
neat.
interrogates the other ghouls, just like freaking the hell out. I was like, oh Jesus, the eye patch.
Run! Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Just a key point for this show as a whole. Before we get to like the moment where where Heisei finally loses or snaps. Before we get to that, I think this show as a whole has very much made it very clear which characters it like on either side, really. Each side has its own good characters that it wants you to like and villain characters it wants you to hate. Because on the police side, this whole episode was filled with like that one freaking weird ugly looking dude that looks like a Frankenstein's monster or something.
Yeah.
He just, he's uses a chainsaw to just hack one of the servants in half and, tortures her and
the one that was like there like going after her lover or whatnot, like
got killed
just to make it hurt even more. Like I didn't really care for that character either, like that much, but he made it hurt.
it really shows it makes you hate the character more of that dude, of that villain. So props to the show for being able to do that. Props to the person who is writing all this. But that's the thing. We also had a couple of other, I think the people who are in charge of this operation attack on the Rose, the younger dude and then the older gentleman, whatever. But when they talked, it was like, oh, I look forward to teaming up with you in this endeavor. Oh yes, so do I. I hope it goes well. And then as they're walking away, they're like, that uncouth scumbag, or that little brat, he's gonna pay. Like they're just like these really greed or rank hungry men,
glory seekers,
that just are trying to one up each other, and they're kind of scumbags that aren't really fighting for a just cause as much as they're fighting for their own glory. So
it feels like they're like poachers or bounty hunters that are just getting ghouls because like it's like some kind of like prize animal or something like that. And like with people like the Frankenstein's monster looking kind of dude. Like that's what it is. He's just like doing some inhumane things with these, but just because they're ghouls. I'm just like, wow.
And then like we have ghouls on the other side that are obviously villains, like the freaking bandaged owl daughter chick. She is bat guano crazy.
I mean, she's crazy, but I don't feel like she's entirely antagonistic at this point.
She's chaotic. She seems like she does want to see, like, she wants entertainment, probably is her key, and she's manipulating people into like being enjoyable to watch burn. But have they really villainized too many ghouls? I think maybe that one dude who turned into a ghoul, who Kaneki, Heisei fought. Yeah, we didn't get that Kaneki fight. Still salty. But that dude with the hood, he's pretty insanely evil. So I don't know. Maybe they're leaning more towards the
CCG.
The CCG being the real antagonists here, and it's just weird because at the end of the day, these ghouls eat people.
And I feel like when we get like Amon again, because I'm pretty sure that they've kind of like hinted that he's coming back.
Oh yeah.
He was the one person who was like from the CCG who was actually trying to sympathize with Kaneki in like that final battle. And I feel like he will be like the bridge between CCG and the ghouls, just like Heisei Kaneki was from like the ghoul side of things. I don't know like how it's actually gonna like fall out, because we still have a lot of antagonistic forces, like all the higher up ghouls and like the CCG itself. Like who knows their true intentions? Honestly, like it can get a lot worse than what it is right now. like judging by like the preview, they're not out of the clear yet. Like, I don't think Tsukiyama is like really safe either because they're still like pursuing him and stuff. Because they got like the whole perimeter's kind of like covered. So
yeah, so it's hard to say if anyone's gonna survive any of that. Well, I'm sure Shu will. He'll probably be the only one. Shaggy with my hair, he's probably gonna die.
uh, now I think you want to go back to that one moment from
That one moment where Heisei finally like snapped and was like, "Wait a minute, so who's Amon? Why are you trying to find out more about Amon? You know, the girlfriend whose boy, whose man
yeah
died. She's like, what do you want to know about him? Why do you want to know?" And then he's like, "Well, because he died in the line of battle to the what's his the masked dude, Eye Patch. What about Eye Patch? You don't need to know anything about Eye Patch. What do you What about me? Am I Eye Patch? Am I the one who killed him on?" It's like, oh man, he just loses it.
I'm pretty sure
And
she knows though. I think he like kind
yeah,
of said.
of course she knows. She
No,
absolutely
Heisei
knows.
knows that he's the eye patch Ghoul, and he's just like he's trying to like get people to actually say that he is. He's kind of
Yeah,
confused that people aren't, and just like what is going on? Why isn't anyone kind of telling me the truth?
it's a lie.
Like even from the Ghoul side of things, like I'm not sure if he
Yeah.
like 100% knows that Shu is a Ghoul. I don't think he cared when he asked the question. Like when he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, let me rephrase it for real quick," because like that's not something you ask people. So I was
Yeah,
like,
seriously.
okay, that made sense. So that he had to rephrase that. It's like, did you know Kaneki can? Like, and no one wants to tell him. Who knows how far that go? Who will tell him? Honestly, maybe like Heisei will, or not Heisei, but Kaneki might snap from within if they're pressured enough from like some other ghouls. I feel like, or maybe CCG. I think it's probably gonna be the ghouls that would have to snap Kaneki out of it,
Yeah.
or it might be Toka if she comes back. So
It was in this moment though when, she gives him a hug to console him and says that no matter what, you're you,
yeah,
right? You're not you don't have to be Kaneki, you're still you. When she says that to him and, he sheds a tear, I finally, after all, what is this, episode 8 or
10.
something? 10? After 10 episodes, I finally have some liking of this character. I actually care. I actually like or can say I sympathize with Heisei.
Yeah,
It was this moment where it finally kicked in, and I'm happy that it happened that way. I don't know.
yeah. Do you have any final thoughts for this episode? Because we are running at around 22 minutes.
Shoot. It probably was. Gosh, but I'm not thinking about it. So, I think let's just wrap it up.
All right. Well, that's it for us. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out our description for all the stuff that's there. We'll catch you next time. Keep it juicy.
See ya.
Yeah. Heisei has it tough. Honestly, like this whole memory stuff is really messing with him in ways that we probably don't fully
Yeah.
comprehend because we haven't had like much time with just Heisei and his slice of life.
Yeah.